We'd reached the far end of the neighborhood when the laughter faded. The air grew still, and that's when I saw it. Across the street, in a yard with no porch light, stood a figure, completely still, completely black. A long hooded cloak swallowed their shape, face hidden behind a mask. I froze. Savannah noticed my stare. "There's someone across the street," I whispered. "Don't stare, just stay close." Jackson chuckled. "It's probably someone trying to scare people." But Savannah didn't laugh. She knew I carried a Glock. She knew when I was serious. We kept walking, but the sound of footsteps echoed behind us. Thud, thud, thud. I turned. The same figure, now closer. No cloak this time, just black tactical gear, vest, boots, full spandex mask. Whoever it was, they looked ready for something. I whispered, "Don't stop walking. Don't look back. Just keep moving." The sound of footsteps matched ours perfectly. Every turn, every pause. When we reached the car, my heart was pounding so loud I could barely think. Then I turned. The figure was 20 feet away. I raised my Glock. "Why are you following us?" They froze, raised their hands, then slowly pulled off their mask. A woman, pale, expressionless, maybe mid-30s. She said in a monotone voice, "I'm an undercover cop. There was a break-in. I thought it was you."
It happened 2 years ago. Halloween night, 2023. I was 22 then, exhausted after a long day at the community center. We'd just wrapped up a festival full of noisy games, candy trivia, and a chaotic kids versus parents dodgeball match. My feet ached, my voice was gone, and all I wanted was sleep. But that peace didn't last long. Around 6:30, my phone rang. My little sister, Savannah. Her voice was excited, breathless. "Can you take me and Jackson trick-or-treating? Mom and Dad don't feel like it." I sighed. Of course, I was always the one to make things happen. By the time I got to my parents' house, Savannah was painting her face ghost white, Raven from Teen Titans. My 11-year-old nephew Jackson looked fierce in his Sub-Zero costume. I smiled, despite my exhaustion. The night started perfectly normal. The streets glowed orange under flickering jack-o'-lanterns. Children laughed, plastic buckets rattled with candy, and every house seemed alive. One older man even grilled hot dogs for kids instead of handing out sweets. He said, "Protein lasts longer than sugar." I laughed. For a while, everything felt safe. Until it didn't.
Her voice, it didn't sound human. Too cold, too flat. "Undercover?" I asked. "Then why the tactical beer? Why the cloak?" She didn't answer, just stared and then smiled. "If you didn't have that gun," she whispered, "this night would have ended very differently." Before I could speak, shadows moved. 4 more figures stepped out from between the houses, all in tactical gear, blank faces lit by the dim streetlights. "Get in the car!" I shouted. Savannah and Jackson ran. I kept my aim steady until they were inside, then jumped in and sped off. In the rearview mirror, that woman was still standing there, smiling. The others just watched, unmoving. I barely remember the drive home, the silence, the way Savannah's hands shook. That night replayed in my head again and again. But the real horror came days later. A text, no message, just a photo. My car, parked right outside my apartment. They knew where I lived. I went to the police. Nothing they could do. So I went back to the house where it started. The man there said there'd been no break-in, no commotion. He hadn't seen anyone outside that night. Then it all clicked. The woman wasn't a cop. Those people weren't random. They'd been watching us. Maybe for weeks, maybe longer. 2 years later, I still have the same Ring camera I installed that week. Sometimes, late at night, I check the footage. And sometimes, I swear, I still see a figure in black standing across the street, perfectly still, just watching. Because on Halloween night, some costumes aren't costumes at all.
I was 12 years old, the Halloween my childhood nearly ended. Back then, Halloween was my favorite day of the year. Candy, costumes, bonfires, nothing felt dangerous about it. I was just a kid who loved scary stories, not realizing that one day I'd live inside one. That year, my parents decided we'd do something different. Instead of trick-or-treating around our quiet neighborhood, we'd spend Halloween weekend at a lakeside resort 2 hours away. 10 cabins, a dock, a tiny carnival, and endless black woods surrounding it. They said it would be wholesome family fun. We arrived just before sunset. The lake reflected the burning orange sky, and the smell of bonfire smoke and caramel apples drifted through the air. Families unpacked costumes, kids ran around laughing, and the sound of distant music echoed between the trees. It felt like a movie scene, the perfect Halloween. But even then, I remember something strange. There were crows, dozens of them, perched on the trees near the cabins, silent, just watching. I told my mom, but she laughed it off. As night fell, the laughter turned into screams of fun. The haunted hayride had started. The tractor rumbled down the dirt path, torches flickering on either side. My new friend Ryan and I sat on the hay bales, daring each other not to flinch. Scarecrows jumped from the woods, fake zombies groaned, everyone laughed. Then, the man appeared. He wasn't part of the show. He stood just beyond the last torch, maybe 15 feet away, half hidden behind the trees. No mask, no costume, just a dark jacket and a baseball cap pulled low. His face was barely visible, but I could tell he was looking right at me. And the way he tilted his head, it didn't feel like curiosity. It felt like recognition. I whispered to Ryan, "Do you see that guy?" But when he looked, the man was gone. When the ride ended, I tried to shake it off. We joined everyone at the bonfire near the lake. People roasting marshmallows, kids running, music playing. For a while, I forgot about the man until I saw him again.
He was standing at the far edge of the firelight, by the tree line, still, motionless, watching. He didn't talk to anyone, didn't move, didn't even blink. I told my parents, but they thought I was imagining things. Probably just one of the staff, my dad said, but I knew better. Later that night, Ryan dared me to walk the forest trail behind the cabins. He said it was part of the real haunted woods experience. I didn't want to go, but I didn't want to look scared either. We grabbed a flashlight and slipped away from the crowd. The trail started narrow, packed with leaves crunching under our feet. The deeper we went, the colder it got. The laughter from the resort faded until all I could hear was the wind in our breathing. Then we heard it. Footsteps, slow, heavy, deliberate, behind us.
Probably another kid, Ryan said, but I could hear his voice tremble. I turned the flashlight, but the beam caught nothing but fog and trees. Then a voice. Deep, calm, too calm. "Hey there, boys. You like candy?" The light flickered, and then he stepped into view. The same man, black jacket, cap low, faint grin. He held out a Reese's cup, orange wrapper gleaming in the beam. "I've got plenty more in my cabin," he said softly. "Come on, I'll give you some." Ryan whispered, "Let's go." But the man took a step closer. "I saw you two earlier on the hayride." Something in his tone, the way he said it, it wasn't playful. It was remembering. I grabbed Ryan's arm and ran. We ran so fast I could barely breathe. Branches tore at our faces, twigs cracked under our shoes, and I could hear his footsteps pounding behind us. The flashlight fell, spinning light across the trees. For one split second, I saw his face. Pale, dirty, a scar on his cheek, eyes wide open, fixed on me. When we finally burst out near the cabins, I turned around, nothing, just the sound of our ragged breathing. We told the adults. The police searched the woods, found footprints and a half-eaten candy bar near the trail, but no man, no cabin, nothing. They said it was probably a prank, but I knew it wasn't. That night, I couldn't sleep. Every noise outside made me jump. The window near my bed faced the forest, and at some point, I looked out and froze. He was there, standing between the trees, same jacket, same cap, just standing, looking up at my window. I screamed, but by the time my parents came in, he was gone again. The police came back, but there were no footprints this time. They said I had vivid imagination. We left the next morning. I didn't talk the whole drive home. For months afterward, I'd see him, not clearly, but enough to know. A man at the corner store wearing the same cap, a figure by the edge of the schoolyard watching as the bell rang. Always there, always watching, but never close enough for anyone else to notice. Even now, years later, I can't go near a forest at night. And every Halloween, I still check outside my window before bed. Because once you've seen the face of something truly evil, you never stop wondering when it'll come back. And deep down, I know he never really left. He's still out there, waiting for another kid to wander too far into the woods.
My name's Ethan, and this happened to me 3 years ago, on Halloween night. I was 29, working a soul-crushing office job, endless spreadsheets, fake smiles and silence. Halloween was my one escape. That night, the air was cold, sharp, the kind that smells like dead leaves and burnt pumpkins. I'd planned to stay home, hand out candy, and finally relax. But peace has a strange way of shattering when you least expect it. Around 10:30 p.m., I was slouched on the couch, half watching The Conjuring 2. Most houses had already gone dark, parents tucked in, kids asleep. Then came the sound, a faint, polite knock on the side door. Not the front, the side. I froze. When I opened it, no one was there. Just wind, leaves, and the faraway creak of a swing. The street was dead silent again, but somehow I felt watched.
15 minutes later, another sound. Not knocking this time. Metal scraping. It was coming from the back door. No one ever used that entrance. The handle twisted slowly. Deliberate. Testing. I muted the TV and listened. Then, through the kitchen window, I saw him, crouched low, wearing dark clothes and a cracked plastic mask pushed up on his head. He wasn't sneaking. He was waiting.
He lifted the crowbar, gently. That calmness terrified me more than any scream could. I backed away, whispering to 911 that someone was trying to break in. The operator told me to stay hidden, keep quiet. Every second stretched thin. Then, a soft pop. The sound of a window screen being pried loose. He was at the basement now. I whispered, shaking, "He's in the basement window." Then came the sound I'll never forget, glass cracking. It was careful at first, then violent. I could hear him breathing, heavy, determined. I crouched by the stairs, gripping a kitchen knife, whispering updates to the dispatcher. The house felt alive, creaking, shifting, breathing with me. Then, silence. Complete, suffocating silence.
Footsteps crunched outside. Then headlights. Red and blue flashes painted the walls like bleeding colors. Relief hit me all at once. I saw the man bolt from behind the house, running across the yard. The officers tackled him near the driveway. But what they found in his bag? Crowbar, zip ties, duct tape, and a small pistol. He wasn't just a burglar. He had a plan.
2 weeks later, the police called me. Said the man had a record. Said they found other things. Rope, knives, photos of houses. But then the officer paused. He said, "Mr. Ethan, there was one more photo in his bag." Silence. I asked, "Of what?" He said, "It was of your house, taken from the backyard last year."
Now every Halloween, I leave my lights off. No candy, no movies, no sound. Sometimes, though, I still hear it. That same soft knock, just once, from the side door. And every time, I wonder if they ever caught the right man.